I want to bring up, I gave you another path to a file. Ray asked about the status of transcribe and summarize using the command line parameters. And I'm like, Ray, we made a video I made it specifically for you. It's not even shared on the YouTube channel. I just pushed it into the Telegram showing you it's there, right? We added that functionality. But the overall topic, can you show that Word doc, Isaias? Now,
Sure.
what to me was
Sorry, the Word doc for the topics?
Yeah, I gave you a path.
Oh, okay, sorry. Opening up.
Where I had saved. What I did, because here's the thing, kind of like, actually, it's very interesting if you think about it. You know how when we started last hour or around last hour, we talked about the OpenAI router and how, hey, there's different endpoints and there's different things you might do. Well, the same thing for us. I love the idea of having the ability to pass command line parameters to a given script. The problem is we don't want to one time in one script say the file name is F, and one time it's the word file or file path and be confusing, right? We want to be very, very consistent. So I asked AI, I explained our overall goal, and I said, you've seen a lot of our scripts. What are general parameters we would want to have hard-coded, not hard-coded, but defined across the different topics, right? So it created this great structure of the different kind of things that we do and the types of things we might define, right? Does that make sense to everybody here? Of these are things we might say, this is what I would, here's the search.
This would be a parameter,
Exactly. Right?
Yeah, that's
So
perfect.
So at some point,
yeah,
we'll come up with and Isaiah, you help me. I don't know if that's just a function or a class for that we borrow in our tools. Usually they're tools that have a GUI that we want to change some of the parameters that we push to it, right?
Okay. So what you just said is a great question. Like, would it be a class or would it be a function? I would say right now it sounds like a function because it's just one thing that I want to do. What I want to do is parse the command line parameters. So I'm just going to parse arguments, right? If I had multiple functions that are similar or that are regarding a same topic, I would think about a class. Another reason why I would think about a class is, yeah, I want a function, but I also want a variable that is related to that function, but I don't want those things to be global. That's when I think about a class. In this case, it sounds like one function. You just parse the parameters and return back, I don't know, the list of actions or the parsed parameters so that the tool itself can decide what to do with them, I guess. That's what I would do. But it sounds like a function for now, right? But this is great because that means, and just to kind of like make sure it is very clear, it's just that if I have 3 different tools and they all work with some sort of media files, I will not have different names for the parameters for the same thing. So if I wanted the start time and the end time, I will not have one of them S time, E time, and the other one start time and end time, and the other one ST and ET. You know what I mean? Just imagine that if I have tool 1 and then .ahk and then say starting time equals 10, ending time equals 56. And then the next tool 2, is going to be start time equals 10, and then end time equals 59. Now, they're 2 different tools. They're doing the same thing. Why would I have different names for the same thing? That's what this document is all about. It was just AI trying to figure out from our scripts what are some common names that we use for certain parameters. And then we can use this and say, okay, you know what? We can actually use exactly these names. Or Joe, you can just say, well, for these guys, I'm going to say ST, ET, and duration. Like, I don't know, if you want. But at least it is going to be consistent across all of them, right?
So it's basically like a naming convention that goes across the things. But yeah, it'll keep us, because that's the really important part of this. that means every script we give out, the person that wants to automate it has to understand they have to write a separate script to go control it, right? Because or not a script necessarily, but they have to understand the parameters are going to pass to it. They have to study it, right? We built in transcribe and summarize. We gave an example script that automatically allows you to pass parameters and just shows you example, right? But yeah, that was. Let me show actually. So because I'll share my screen here. What I did, so let me bring in just somewhere I have a video file. Because like I said, this effortless video reducer, I use it a lot, right? Now, I could have a script running, and when I hit select the file, I hit a hotkey, but I don't want to have a dedicated hotkey to this because I can't remember it. But what I did was in Prompt Assistant, let me first show you. In Prompt Assistant, under Tools, FFmpeg, this process through EVR, this is the code that I'm going to run, right? But that's a lot of clicks also. So notice I made a Control Shift F. So I can come up here and hit Control Shift F. That jumps me to this menu, and I can select that. And now that takes that file and pushes the parameter. It actually, all it takes is the file. So it starts this program with that file. Now, I didn't release this because all we're doing is passing the file. What we'll probably do is say, hey, let's have the speed, the encoding, maybe the quality. I don't know if we'll do
The resolution, yeah.
yeah, our audio quality, but we could make parameters for all of these things to get passed. But it gets back to that this has quite a few parameters we'd be considering, and I don't know if people would be needing that many things, but we could do it, right?
Right.
But
And
it's
not only that, then later on, if you have another tool that does some of those parameters, but not all, are they going to have different names? Like, yeah, that's where it becomes a little bit tricky.
yeah. But you see how I didn't have to start this tool, then go find the file, then drag it to here. I just select it from Explorer and basically hit a hotkey to choose the one I want. I could have back in Prompt Assistant here, I could have a second one of these that says do the faster mode or do
Medium.
264 encoding, right? Like, so that's the kind of stuff we're adding by it. Kind of gives you a template. You create some sort of code. Well, this is because I'm way too lazy to write the code, the syntax on the command line parameter, right? I want to have it where it's defined. And if we
It's
go
just one click away.
yeah, so if we go into Prompt Assistant, you can see, I'll just cancel this. Under tools in here, this is the code that does this is why you see it. It's not necessarily. Now, what was interesting, let me increase the DPI, or I could push it into something else. But what I found really interesting was, of course, AI, of course, I'm way too lazy, right? So I had AI write this for me too. What you'll see is down here, AI in this script, even though in the other script we have restrictions on the types of files that it can process, AI added it here for me too. So even if I select files that don't match this tool filters before it even goes to that tool, which I'm like, this is again, I'm way too lazy to have written that, but I was like, oh, that's really cool, right? Like it doesn't even try to send it the wrong kinds of files. So yeah, of course you don't have to do this in Prompt Assistant, right? This is just because we can run auto hotkey code. That's what this up here lets me do. Notice I had hard coded. This is kind of like back to what Isaias did earlier. I had created the script first. This was the actual script. I made sure it worked, and then I left it here and just commented it out. And this actually I can change to, this is our S drive. Oh, there we go. It's just a little shorter, but that's the script that does this below. I just left it here in case I needed to go back and play with it. But this is that script inside Prompt Assistant, which allows me to just execute it directly. So I don't even have to have the saved file. Does that make sense? But hopefully you guys get the concept of like, hey, for tools that I use a lot that have a GUI, and I rarely choose different things, if you can get it to where you can pass it command line parameters, you don't have to bring up the GUI, right? Or you can just have it called in a certain way. in the case of the transcribe and summarize, Isaias, are you still there? You want to share your
Yeah,
screen?
I'm here.
Jump to that tool because in that folder,
So now I have to look for a file. So I go here and I select a video, and then it says Control T. And
there you
now,
go.
well, I get
Now,
this.
those are our prompts that are in transcribe and summarize. I had it go
Mhm.
read the ini file and say what's available because I still might want to change the prompt, right?
Yeah, sure.
But that's my only option is I can change the prompt, and then when you pick one, so pick whatever you want. When it comes up with that video, you'll see
It will have
it.
that AHK
Yeah, that
Hero
should be the
here.
one selected, right?
Perfect. And
Yeah.
now the thing is, I would definitely probably do this. Would be show prompt menu. After it loads the template file, the ini read and whatever, then at the end it parses it and creates the menu. Let me see. Here's the menu. It adds all of them, and then after it finishes up with this loop, then I would add one saying other. And in here, we're gonna show a GUI in which it would
No, well that's going to take a
then
lot more
allow
work.
you to type something in it.
Yeah,
Does
but
that make sense?
that takes a lot more work because all we're doing is switching the default selected prompt.
Right. No,
The,
no, I know that it's kind of like more work in the sense of, yeah, you have to add something. But for me, it's just like one more line and show a GUI that when you hit OK, it will send that prompt. It's like not a lot of work, but
no,
it is more work, of course.
no, it is a lot of work because go back to the tool.
All
Let me
right.
explain it, and it's not that it can't be done, and I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying
Right.
our tool right now, if you change the prompt to a different one, we're just setting what's selected.
Yeah, and that's what I would do. Like I would, whatever you typed, I would set it into this control right here.
Yeah, but you'd have to. The point is, you'd have to go write that and then choose it as as the selected one.
Yeah, sure.
But anyway, yeah. But yeah, now Ray, you wanted to actually click create summary automated. That's not again, that's what we told you was that's not something that we've added to this tool, right? But it does the front end of the stuff of selecting the script, it allows you to select the file and the prompt, and that's in the released version now.